Yep. What are they on? YouTube.
Make a child.
I motion on the minutes.
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second. All in favor? Yeah. Yeah. Payroll done. Mr. Lanavera,
Yep,
you're on.
everybody hear me?
No.
No, one of the lucky ones.
You got a muffler on it.
Anyway, it's about communications at the public hearings and the town meeting. It's real hard to hear people talking, whoever's talking at the time. So I just talking with Whit, and I'd like to get some kind of permission, maybe just to go over to the gym, check it out with Whit or maybe a couple of other people to how to set up maybe a public address system. He said these speakers might be available.
Didn't they use them?
It didn't work. We did at the town meeting. But I mean, we brought them over, not everybody used
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just, I mean, if you're sitting in the back at the town meeting, you really can't hear, and I was just at the public hearing planning board had.
Yeah.
And I could hear the people behind me talking, but as soon as, like, someone moved up to talk to the board, I couldn't hear them that well. And that's partly me, I've got a little
Yeah.
deficiency, but I'm sure other people do too, so. I was just looking for something to, permission me, with someone else, go over, maybe scope it out, and maybe put a public address system, and that's all.
Yeah, there could be probably 4 speakers instead of just 2.
Yeah, I mean, I got some speakers, I got a amplifier and all that, if it's applicable, But what's pretty good on using audio tech, so.
What do you think? Have a good time?
Yeah.
I'll present it next year.
Okay.
I think one of the most important things in meetings is when someone's called on, they're the only one that speaks.
Yeah.
And every time somebody else speaks, it needs to be stopped because nobody can hear anything then. Or they don't get anything out of it.
Right.
Yeah, and plus the moderator who does other town meetings, he always makes a comment on how well attended our meeting is, how many people do show up compared to other towns. It would be nice if everybody could hear what's going on.
Yep.
So thank you.
Can I have a comment?
Sure.
Maybe we can have a mic where somebody steps up to the mic so everybody can hear through the speaker.
Yeah, there's 2 mics
Yeah.
that go with that.
No, but I mean, if people stepped up to them, they introduced themselves, and people, a lot of people in town don't know who people are, and they introduce themselves.
Yeah.
And speak, that way.
Yeah.
Me, I'm just saying, I've seen it happen in other, towns,
Yeah.
so.
Or even if we have one person putting the mic to the person speaking,
Yeah,
go
a
around.
runner, yeah.
A wireless mic,
Yeah.
Well, that's a good idea, yeah, so.
Yeah.
I just say, just. Clearly,
Yeah,
and what
All
the
right.
questions are.
All right,
say,
we're going to department head. Department head. Dickie's first. Right. Hey, I didn't write this.
Hello, we did the mutual aid last time I was here, like in 4 minutes, we was in Freiburg on the, they had, we had till 3 in the morning. Assisted Saw Valley with a structure fire. Just did Denmark today with a chimney fire. We assisted we're snowmobile rescuers now, we went out on the tracks and rescued the snowmobile with our ATV, winched them off, and I did 2 medical costs. I'll be doing building inspections tomorrow. You get on there, the building committee, how do you want to work this building committee? Do you want to go with the people that we had on it before? Or do you want to have people sign up or come? What I was looking at was maybe in a couple weeks, get it together.
Mm-hmm.
On Thursday night. Get my calendar if I can find it. To give people time to, I don't know how you guys like to approach this. If you had any suggestions or,
I would start with what we got and figure what we need from there.
okay,
You got 8, I think it.
I had 8 people on it. I got the list at the station, it's in my book. And what I was looking for was like February 29th, it was a Thursday night at 6 o'clock. To organize it, or we could do the 22nd, you think that'd be, the 22nd too quick?
Oh, 22nd be all right, I think.
we'll only do the Thursday, the 22nd, and start the organization of it and get this thing on, get it going.
Mhm.
I don't know where the grant stands right now, except that I know it's gone through the Senate. But we can't start anything with it until this grant does get approved.
Right.
You know, we can't do any groundbreaking, do anything, because if you do, it'll cost you.
Mhm.
And last thing I got, unfortunately, today, we damaged the fire truck, probably gonna be between $40,000 and $50,000 damage. Struck the side of the building with a new truck. So we gotta replace both sides of the box. And I was the driver of the truck that day. So it's my own doings. It's going down, I'm gonna make tomorrow, have Lynn contact the insurance company and I'm gonna run it down to black. The beauty part, there's no paint work. It's all stainless steel. And they take the serial number of the truck and they punch out the parts that I need and it's basically bolted on. So it did push the body back. So it got it pretty good.
Mhm. But the firehouse is still standing. But the firehouse is still standing.
Gary doing an estimate on the building to mainly siding. Leaned off, so it did hit the side.
Okay.
It looks pretty sad. But it's still in service, still operable, and we're gonna take the stuff out the doors tomorrow. They can't open 2 doors. But we're gonna pry them open in the morning, Bob's gonna come over, give me a hand. Pry them open, empty it out, close it up, and then we can still use the truck.
Yep.
He says it's gonna be probably 8 to 10 weeks before we get past.
Okay.
Truck will still be in service.
Yep.
And that,
Code enforcement office.
Not a lot to report on the code side of things. We did have the land use meeting next to it. I thought it went pretty well for the amount of time we spent over there that night, so. There's some stuff they're gonna reword, take out, and I think it'll be a little more applicable when it comes back around to actually get a vote on it.
Yeah.
That was just my take of it. I was glad I went. It was worth the time, got to speak to the lawyer and get the feedback from the resident. It was really about all I got today.
Okay. Public Works Director.
Okay, Jada City Works come over last month. And told me what we had for issues for the public works.
Mhm.
As far as the building and this, that, and the other is good, but our training is kind of behind. On what we have to do,
Yeah.
and our personal protective equipment is kind of outdated. As far as the chaps and the chainsaws, the helmets. And what I'd like to do is, they're talking about steel toe boots. Get approval to purchase the boots for the road crew. For $200 a pair. It could be me, Buddy, and Josh, be $600. I don't know.
I don't have the budget in front of me, so I don't know how
Yeah.
much he's got in there, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know right off the top of your head what you got in the budget for this?
We got plenty in the budget for the safety part. I think it'd be fine. I just want to get approval from you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Double check with it, wanted to make sure that. It's all lined up, but. Willie's not here.
Well, we got some more stuff.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
It's not done.
Stop hesitating so long.
Open top container for the transfer is gonna be 4 to 6 weeks. That showed up last Thursday.
Right.
As far as goers for the rec center. I've been to several places to get them ordered. You know, for the blocks or whatever, but you mentioned. The secondhand store down there.
Yep, Hancock's parking barn.
So I'm gonna try that.
Those latches are easy to put on. You can order them online, put them on, they're easy.
And I think sometime this week I'm gonna start posting roads.
We were gonna talk to you about that. It'll be done Thursday. With every other town around us.
Yeah, cause I'm gonna talk to Lester today
Yeah.
He's doing his Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, he's doing Thursdays, they don't work Fridays.
Well, I just had Lean put it out there so people have a heads up.
Yep. Yeah, put them on Thursday, effective Monday.
Cause if you put a sign on the road, then they'll call you and say, why, you shouldn't have given us a heads up.
Well,
Bring up there.
yeah, put them up Thursday and have them effective Monday,
Yeah,
cause you're gonna have some warm weather coming in.
that's what we'll do.
Hmm. Cindy,
Oh, we had some dogs dropped off in town, other town,
Oh.
another town. And the owner was deceased, so I let it go with somebody that she used to live with, so.
yeah,
And I did waive the fee for the town.
that's the one we talked about the other day, yeah.
Yeah, I did waive that fee because at least I don't mind paying it. No, I said, because the people that was taking care of the dogs had called and said, do you want the dog? And he didn't get it to the next month, so they just dumped it.
Oh,
So I said, no, I'll waive the fee. I told Joan I'd waive the fee. And I think the shelter waived their fee too
good,
and stuff. So the dog's old, so I mean, maybe have another year, so
yeah,
it has some medical issues and stuff. Animal welfare is making me take police warning training
oh boy,
for 40 hours. I have done conflict at the fence and animal cruelty and domestic abuse so far. Yeah, police training now, and I thought I'll just
There you
get
go.
paid.
you can put handcuffs on dogs.
Well, I guess I'm gonna need a badge, like I got one from Bridgeton, so I'm gonna need a badge.
Who's saying you're gonna do that? The state or
The state animal welfare,
they're good at that?
yeah, they're good at that, yeah. Yeah, it's not bad, 'cause I guess they, cause we are like police officers in a way, some things that you do. You know, so giving us the training so we don't have conflict out there in the fields. You know, or other training, you know, to deal with writing reports and stuff like that, so it's all. The DAs don't kill us on how we're writing them, cause we didn't have the training like police officers have.
All right. So it's really to protect you as much as anybody.
Yeah, it is, it protects the town, it protects, you know, the state, me. And, you know, the DA, you know, it protects everybody involved in the case. By having to make sure it's done the right way. The new animal welfare director, she comes from Georgia, so she's bringing a lot of ideas up from Georgia.
Well, if you're an animal control officer, it's like. The police officer comes to get a child that's being abused or whatever, animals the same way.
But you need to get an ex-parte to take the animal.
Cause I did that when I was in Florida, animal control officer, and I took a duck
We talked about the duck.
to the vets and state police showed up and said, we can't do that.
No, you can't. You have to get an ex-parte.
You gotta go through the system.
You're gonna get an ex-parte for anything from the state to take any animal. And you have to take it to the judge and see if they approve it.
Yep. Correspondence.
All right, we got quite a bit to go. Start with, we're gonna go over the correspondence for the meeting that got canceled on the 13th.
Yep,
We got a letter from Steve Nutting, a comprehensive plan implementation steering committee. Basically asking for setting a date to meet with them.
mhm,
We talked about it a little bit. The week before, I guess it was. Never really did settle anything, but I would like to recommend that we set a date to meet with them. Find out, you know, how things are going and where we're gonna go from here, or whatever the case may be. He sent a letter, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, send it to him. Explaining what they've done and, you know, what their intents are.
Yep,
And it sounded like to me, they're right on. You know, what the town asked them to do. And what the selectmen, prior selectmen approved of them to do.
mhm.
So,
27 sound good?
sounds good to me.
Okay.
Will that be open to the public?
Yep,
Yeah, it'd be during this meeting, right?
yep,
You said 27. I'm not sure how to pronounce this woman's first name, but the last name's Cross. She suggested naming a bridge in Brownfield. Brownfield Veterans Memorial Bridge. And she'd like to, there again, she'd like to change the meet with us to discuss what, I guess she's been involved with something to do with the state. Whatever. And she's actually picked out a bridge. I'm not sure which one it is. But she will come and explain
Okay.
to us what she's doing.
yep. Why don't you want to do that? You give us any dates?
No, she didn't. She was asking for it. Just asking for a. Hang on just a second. Just said I'd like to set up a meeting with to discuss this. Basically, she didn't put any dates.
Okay.
But whatever works for us, I guess, we can
No.
contact her and.
We got one thing for March 5th. We want to add that to March 5th? Okay. If Alvina can call her and set that up. That'd be good.
All right. Missing something here.
Yeah, we get, and the Spectrum franchise. Really good. Zach sent back some suggestions and it's gone to the Eastern Slope Regional Board. I haven't heard from Patrick at all. So hopefully we can find something out. If they have a meeting tomorrow night, I'll attend it and see what's going on there.
All right, we got a whole bunch more here. With Lucy. Wants to, I guess she wants to talk to us about the Eric Walker's resignation from the appeals board because he's on the planning board. It's with her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
speak.
Did you want to say something about that? Or
You can, I didn't.
you just, or was you just letting us know that? I don't know what.
Well, sorta, kinda, so. I happen to be on the website. Or something. I was seeing when the meeting was. And so clicking around, so I noticed under the committees page. It lists all the people on the committee, and I've noticed that there were 2 names removed. From the appeals board listing, and actually another name added. Which was all news to me, considering I'm the chair, and I wasn't aware of any of that. So I quizzed the 2 names that were removed, one of them happens to be Eric. The other one was Don Wentworth. And they both replied to me, and Eric did respond, saying, well, yeah, he can't really be it because he is on the planning board. So I asked if he had brought that to the select board. He said no, so that's why we wrote to Alvina and included me. That was kind of his resignation from the appeals board, which is what he's kind of supposed to do because he shouldn't be on both anyway.
Right.
So I guess with that, and Don also didn't know about any of that. I don't know if that's just a computer error on the website's part. I don't know. I'm just quizzing. Dawn is still wanting to be a part of it. At least that's what she told me. And now I'll have to check on for term expirations to try to re-up those. So with that, I will now have a vacancy. And before, we kind of just threw names in a hat and whoever, or threw them against the wall, and whoever stuck. The select board approved and we got them appointed. I was one of those names who stuck last time. So we don't really have another procedure for filling that vacancy, and at the moment, we, as far as I know, we don't have a case, so I don't think we need to decide tonight. To fill it, but I'd like to have a full board back, just so I am aware of whoever it is.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Anybody showing interest, you know of?
So Chad happened to be the name who was added in that empty space. Which he didn't know anything about. But he did say, I believe, I don't wanna speak for him now, but.
Good, it would be nice to have asked.
Yeah, well, we don't know anything about it either, so.
I don't have a problem doing it.
Bruce?
Was the vacancy ever advertised? That's how you get people to come in and say, no, there's a vacancy.
Right.
If they don't know.
Yeah, we'll put it on the.
Correct, so
webpage.
the last time we filled it, I don't know if it was advertised in paper or whatever. I know it was talked about in at least one, if not two, select board meetings, because I think they. And/or planning board knew that there was a case coming, and they brought it up, which is how I became. On board, because I was here and they said something and. I don't know if I was asked or spoke up about it. So right now, there's a vacancy and.
Right, and that's
So,
what I'm saying, now is the time to advertise, that's all I'm trying to
Yeah, we'll
say.
put it on the webpage.
so I guess put it on
See
the
what happens.
webpage for now, because it's not super urgent, but I would like to have a
Mhm.
full board.
Okay,
Chad, you wanna?
Yeah, there's a bunch of vacancies gonna be, terms expiring, like budget committee is gonna be 4. So those will also be on the website to let people know if they're interested, just in the shopper's guide.
no, she can do it on the website too.
Yeah, okay, so the planning board's gonna have 1 or 2 coming up, yeah,
Yeah,
all right.
Chad?
Like I said, I don't have a problem doing it, so if you guys wanna put my name in, that's fine. I don't have a problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to talk about going back to the purchase order system?
Yep.
What about that?
Bunch of stuff. What do you think of the purchase order system?
Personally, I liked it. When I was in that position, public works position. It was more of a bookkeeping thing for me than anything, but. The records are all right there, you know what I mean? I think there was like 3 or 4 copies on the purchase order. I kept one went to the town office, and one's supposed to go to the. Vendor, but that never happened. But anyways, it made it good for me, so that. I knew that the stuff that was. Being charged was coming out of the right account. And plus I had it in file, so I could check it down the line. That's my opinion. I kept, even when I was in there, they actually stopped using it. At one point, and I kept right on using just the same, just for that. At one point, they had it set up so that after a certain amount of money, a selectman had to sign it before they could.
Right.
So I don't know exactly what. You want to, do with that, but.
Well, we'll wait till John comes back and we'll hash it out. I would think. It's gotta be a significant amount of money. Before they have to come to us,
Right.
like $5,000 or something,
Well, the prices today.
Yeah, price of today, you don't even know if that's good, but. I mean, you don't wanna impede the day-to-day services, but
No,
you need to control, where the money's going to. Okay. Road proceeds we've done.
We've got a little situation here on 4. I don't know exactly how you want to handle this, but. It's been brought to our attention that there was I'm gonna call it an accident, because I don't know if it's really an accident. Like, one of the plow trucks was going across the Green Bridge, and the pickup truck came through from the other side, didn't bother to stop him. I guess the guy was going really well, I don't know, I'm not gonna try to redo the scenario, because I don't know exactly what happened, but anyways, his mirror hit the truck, the plow truck. I guess it did break some grease fittings off or something off the plow truck too, right?
Mhm.
But he kept on going, he didn't stop. And then I guess when he got home, told his father, he says, you better be telling this, calling, we called the town office. Should call the cops, in my opinion.
Mhm.
So now we're in kind of a situation where I don't really know exactly what to do, because it should have been reported right then.
Well, you got a plow truck with a wing and a plow down on a bridge that's full of sand. And a pickup truck, someone comes across when you're 3/4 away through and it gets on the sidewalk and busts the mirror. You don't feel it mirror on,
Well, that's true.
and Josh saw him go by. He didn't stop, so Josh continued doing what Josh does, plows roads.
Right,
So this was what, how many days later?
I don't know exactly when he called, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So,
It was a couple days anyways.
Yeah, it was, yeah, it's been a few days.
so I'm gonna have a truck that's plowing snow, stop and wait for the cops to come and say, truck went by me, it was blue.
Yeah, well, I understand 100%.
I think I would just call and report it, and they're not gonna tell you to stay there, because the other one took off. You just, as long as it's on their record that you call, that you won't have any issues.
What,
You know,
what causes the whole issue though now is he did call back. So now we got somebody that's reporting
But
it.
he didn't call that day, but that,
I'm not saying who's
Yeah.
right and who's wrong. I'm just saying that we got an open issue, because now our insurance company is gonna wanna know why we haven't reported to them and blah, blah,
Is the person waiting?
well, how do you report something that you don't even feel or see?
right.
but when you
Didn't
get,
even know the truck hit.
but you said when you get back to the garage, you found the parts on the
2 days later.
2 days later.
Yeah, it was, well, my understanding, I was talking to Cliff, is grease pits on the corner of the body. That go down to different things. It broke the ends of them off. You wouldn't even notice it until you got ready to grease the truck.
Right, but that's what happened. They got ready to grease the truck and they go, what happened? And Josh said, well, and 2 and 2 ended up to 4 and.
Wouldn't they have the right of way over the
They
bridge?
do.
We do have the right.
They do.
So he didn't call,
Right.
Yeah, well, when you drive up on the sidewalk, I'd say you probably fall.
yeah. And really, if you plow truck going across that
You've
bridge,
been across that bridge with a plow and away.
Yeah,
stop
How much time
anything.
do you have?
you don't. I agree 100%.
He should have stopped and let the plow go through.
Okay, but that's history. What I'm talking about is what we're up against right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bruce.
The purpose of a police report is to determine who's at. If no police report is made out, they can't determine who's at.
Right.
Well, that may be in Maine. I know in New Hampshire, the cops don't determine anything about who's at
Well,
fault.
they do in Maine.
They do, okay.
They
Well,
do.
what we're saying is the
I
guy,
hear what you're saying.
he went by, he didn't stop.
There's supposed to be an accident report filled out within 24 hours.
Basically, what Cliff,
If the accident is in $1,500 worth of damages or more.
So there isn't. If it's
all
not
right,
here.
so there you go. But what Cliff's saying, and I agree with him, if he didn't know that anything happened at the time, why would you call?
Or if there wasn't $1,500 worth of.
Right. Non-reportable.
I just thought that where the guy called here and brought it out, we need to bring it out in public, because I don't want anybody to think we're hiding something.
No, I mean, a big truck and somebody goes by and hit a mirror. And they don't stop. If I want to buy a plow truck, knock my mirror off, and say, hey, stop, say, hey.
Yeah.
there's a reason for him, just keep going.
Right,
And then 2 or 3 days later.
No, I wouldn't, I
Right,
think
and
that
follow
he was
that.
at fault.
Yeah,
It was at fault because you guys had the right of way, that would be my. How, you know what I mean?
no,
but back to the
You
issue
should've
of
been on record.
reporting it. I'm glad you brought it up because he made a really good point. If he didn't know anything happened, why are you gonna report it?
Right.
I mean,
You just saw a guy buy him on the sidewalk. You know,
right. He's looking to got by.
he hit the sidewalk and went up over the
He
sidewalk.
had to be up on the sidewalk, or he would have been in the file.
He was, that's why he broke the milk.
He saw that truck coming and decided to go across that bridge, he's at fault.
yeah, it's his decision,
Holy moly.
and there's no lights in the truck, you can't see it.
I'm saying. Seems pretty
I
kind of.
know,
Yeah.
Wow.
Uh,
alright, so I guess that's enough discussion on that.
Yeah.
Somebody else got something else to say.
Yeah, big stupid.
SAD 72 is having a board agenda, school board agenda for February 14th. Anybody wants to go, maybe it's a Valentine party, I don't know. I assume it's to do with setting up an agenda for the budget meetings and all that. And I don't know if you know this or not yet, but Zach's leaving Bernstein Shore,
yep,
and he's recommending this other lady, Mary. Whatever her last name is, something like that. So that's something we're gonna have to find out if that's what we're continuing to do. And we need to schedule another employee safety meeting. We usually do that during the day.
yeah, 8 o'clock in the morning.
I thought one was scheduled for March 8th.
Preferably Mondays.
No, I thought one was scheduled for March 8th. I thought I saw somewhere.
I don't know. I haven't been told yet.
I thought it was on one of the agenda a couple weeks ago.
All right,
Yeah, I thought it was March 8th. I could be wrong.
I'll write that down, look into that. But we gotta schedule.
For some reason, that's sticking in my head.
Is there a safety meeting?
March 8th is a Friday. I doubt it'll be a Friday, because Public Works doesn't work on Friday. Usually it's a Wednesday,
Maybe I'm.
because the transfer station works too. Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Wow, what do you want to say to you?
Let me give you a little background on that safety meeting.
Sure.
That safety meeting work, it's not all the employees, it's department heads.
Just the heads.
Just like that, you don't pull your employees off the job to come here. So it's, you do it, the way these work is that we can, the department heads. If there's an issue somewhere, the department head goes back, corrects it with the employee. But you don't bring the whole employee, you don't bring all the employees in. And that's when we did this before, that's how that was set up, put this together. And that's the way safety works and the Bureau of Labor Standards operates.
Okay.
It's the department heads. And then if you have issues like Cliff has an issue that we gotta bring up, he takes care of it. Transfer station would be Joe. She only got one person, she's not shutting the town down or stopping anything like that. So
Right.
that's what it should work.
I don't know.
You can read that one.
I'll choke on them for a moment. Maybe Cliff can explain this quote we got from Howard Fairfield for the Western Star plow truck. I mean, can you say something about it? Or?
What was the report about?
We got a quote from Howard Fairfield, HP Fairfields, on a Western Star plow truck, $309,440.
Yeah, I got a quote from Western Star itself, and it was 302. But that's gonna take a year to two to get it. Fairfield bought trucks ahead of time and got them rigged up.
Yeah.
So they're already ready to go, we just name on it and. But I just got that quote for it, I think that one's for a wheeler.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. It sounds like 69,000 pounds or something like that,
Yeah.
so gotta be.
And then of course the single axle, they got some of those too.
So you just got a quote to get some idea what.
I just bring it up, give you guys a heads up of what you're looking at for future. If you don't do it today, next week's gonna be 400 or something, right?
yeah.
Uh, This next one really. We got a lot more work to do before we can really. I mean, it's not like we gotta make any decision on it or anything,
Right,
but just bringing up the speed on, you know, what, there has been some talk in the. Past about, getting set up with a truck and all that to do our own, haul our own trash. Well, in order to do that, number one. I got a price on. I had Cliff did it, on the closed containers, because we don't own any of the closed containers down there.
No, we're ready.
So we're gonna need two of them, and those are. Delivered price is $10,350 a piece. So that's 20,000 plus right there for that. Like I said, we don't really need to discuss that a whole lot right now because we're trying to get. Just figures together. I got some other things that I have done. I might as well discuss why I got this on the table.
Mhm.
I called CIA. Right now, our trucking is with North County Incinerator, $320 per load. Pine Tree, Pine State Disposal. He gave me a quote of $475 to $500. So that's not gonna save you any money. And CIA is $247.10, up to 10 cents. For. And you know, I just got those quotes just to give us something to get started. It's not, that's no contracts or anything like that. It's just a.
Yeah.
Quote to.
But we have to find out who owns the contract. I know we own the contract to, Maine Injury Recovery. Or Maine. But I don't know if we own the contract to, landfill in Bartlett, I mean, not Berlin.
Berlin. I don't think we've got a.
Recovery, Mount Recovery, well, I know Kathy does. So that's what we have to look at to see what happens.
Yeah, well, like I said, there's a lot of things we gotta look at. I mean, there's.
Yeah.
You gotta. Figure in the price of the truck and who's gonna drive it and all that. There's a lot. There's a lot to it. Not, you can't
Yep.
just say, well, we're gonna switch companies, because
Right.
it's not that simple. But I just figured where. You know, we got this quote on this, I might as well bring up the rest of what I got.
And there are trucks out there. You buy a truck and they'll throw in 2 or 3 cans.
Yeah,
I found a few of them last year. So that's pretty good too.
I think another thing that ought to be brought up to the public is. Eco Maine, if we send our solid waste down there. It's $81.74 a ton for the tipping fee. The recycling's $108.73 for the tipping. Up there to Berlin, it's $72 a ton. That's. For household garbage and,
Everything.
Demolition, they'll take everything. Eco Maine won't take the demolition, that's why we send some stuff up to Andrew. But there's quite a difference in the prices. Go ahead.
Will they take tires? Cause some places take tires in it. They mix tires in with their trash, like down at Tri-Town. They throw them right in the pots with it.
You know where the trash goes?
Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea.
That's-
Yeah, I just, Larry Jewell, the guy I bought my car from, he's old, so I take his trash to the dump, and I had to get another sticker and everything else for down there. When I was watching people just throwing their tires into the hopper, And I know other places do that, whereas we're having such a tire problem. Who does what?
Right, well,
Huh?
They don't do it.
Do what?
Throw tires in the
They
front.
certainly do. I was down there 2 days ago and it was.
I talked to Joe 2 weeks ago and said they can.
Well, I just witnessed it, so.
Okay, well, if you witness, and I ain't arguing.
well, I know we used to do that too, Bruce, down at our transfer station. And I think it was going up there to that Androscoggin Valley. And they shut us off on putting the tires in. We could put so many tires in per load.
Right.
And then they said, no more, so. Something's
I'll
wrong.
check with Joe, see if it's okay.
Yeah, find out where he's sending it, then we can talk to them.
So. How much longer is on the contract with Eco Maine?
I think 2 years.
So you can't do anything for 2 years anyway?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think that contract's on recycle.
Yeah, just recycling, yes.
So recycling?
Yeah.
So are you committed, is the town committed to give them so much tonnage for recycling in the contract?
There is something in there that if you don't send it to them, they won't charge anyways, which is kind of odd.
Not for Eco Maine, it used to be regional waste systems.
Right,
Yeah.
now it's different.
When, one thing I do wanna point out too, is when we first started recycling with Eco Maine. That was the big selling issue, was because it was a lot cheaper to recycle than it was to send it in the trash.
Now it's the other way.
Now it's the other way.
Yeah.
Chad, there's no markets.
Just on your tipping fees, so if we hauled our own, would those tipping fees be cheaper?
Same thing.
Be the same.
Same thing. but
Yeah.
Instead of paying a company to haul it, plus the tipping fee, all you're paying is the tipping.
Right.
Alright.
Yeah, if they reject the recycling. Do you have to pay 2 fees, one for the recycling and one for the solid waste?
When they reject the load, we end up paying the trucking twice. So now a load that was $320 is now $650. So now you gotta.
That couldn't fit.
I'm doing that, yeah. We got a budget committee meeting.
Can I say one thing
Yeah,
before you close the meeting?
Yes.
And it's about the public hearing that was the other day.
Yeah.
The planning board doesn't, to me, doesn't know the difference between an informational meeting and a public hearing. A public hearing is a requirement. And that is supposed to be the last step before it goes to the voters. You're not supposed to have a public meeting now, a public hearing, and then have a public meeting. That's what I'm saying, they kind of put the cat before the horse. If they'd had the public meetings to discuss what they were doing, they have to pay the lawyer to come to all those public hearings. They don't necessarily have to pay him to come to a public meeting. And that is, the public hearing is a criteria. It's the last step before it's voted on, not the first step. That's all I want to say.
Okay, thank you, Bruce. All right. Entertain a motion,
make a motion to close the meeting.
second. All in favor? Budget meeting starts.
Thank you.